Hello and welcome back to my Elden Ring challenge run on the White Man series, which is coming to an end now with this episode, which is sad, but honestly I'm kind of glad to get it over with because this thing has been killing me, and you'll understand why after seeing this episode. Because this series took a total of 54 hours, which isn't that long, but when you consider most episodes take like maybe 5 hours bare minimum, sometimes up to 10. It really starts to stack up, and this episode alone took about 12 hours at least. So that's why this took a while. Anyway, enjoy. So I'm starting this episode with Loretta, since she's probably the easiest boss out of the two bosses I need to fight, being Malenia and Mohg. I'd rather start off with Loretta, since it's just easier. Anyway, this fight was pretty easy, and you see I'm pretty shitty at dodging her, and it took me a couple of deaths to figure out how to dodge her properly. But once I got it, she was pretty easy to dodge. I was just being an idiot, being too aggressive. And just like the Ghost Loretta, the real Loretta likes to jump around and spam magic just as much. So, as you can imagine, it's a bit of a pain. But as long as I make sure I don't get hit by the little magic phalanx, I'm fine. But as you can tell, she likes to spam that little attack a lot. And then she likes to jump away, so I can't even really hit her half the time. And then it just ends up into this kind of fight where I'm waiting for her to approach me so I can hit her. I was dumb there, but I easily could have just moved to the side. And as you can see, I'm dealing like triple, double damage here easily. And this is what I mean on hitting enemies sometimes could just deal extra damage. And trust me, that one comes in very handy later. Although Mohg would have been a lot easier to fight first than Malenia, I was already here and I wasn't at the Mohg fight yet, so I just decided to fight her first. Now this was nowhere near a first attempt. There's a reason this episode took 12 hours, and at least 7 of them were purely just fighting Malenia. Because I spent ages just trying to learn how to dodge Waterfell, and eventually I did do it, and there is a short up on my channel on how I did it, and I'm pretty proud of that, and I've got it a couple times. And she just spammed Waterfell this time, so it's pretty good that I learned how to dodge it properly. Like now. So my technique for this fight was to hit her with whips, since she can stun lock her with light attacks, or even the double stancing attacks, but power stancing can be kind of a pain because she can just go into a Waterfell and you can't do much, or she could even just get hyper armor from like a lot of her attacks to just attack you out of nowhere. And there's nothing you can do about it if you're power stancing, so I opted for just basic light attacks, and she's doing Waterfell again. God damn it. Flawless dodge this time though. Also, I tried to use determination as much as possible for extra damage, and sometimes she'd do this lunging attack at me, which I would get hit by because she's got hyper armor. But you'll see stuff like that, I can roll back out of that before she gets the final hit. I can stun her to get some damage in. And most weapons can't do that, but the benefit of the whips having such long range allows me to. See, I traded with her there, but I stunned her as well. Something else I noticed is if I don't get too close to her in the first phase, she seems to not be that aggressive. It's really only when you get right up in her face does she really start to attack. But other than that, if you keep a little bit of distance, she'll actually just slowly walk towards you. You can just stun lock her with a couple hits. But occasionally she'll just hyper armor through it and then hit you anyway, so it's not the best opportunity to go for. So I immediately start this fight with obviously dodging, but also using my Flask of Wondrous Physique for more damage, and also a boiled crab, and determination as well, just so I'm buffed as much as possible for second phase. The reason I didn't use it in first phase is because I didn't want to waste the duration of my physic, and boiled crab, honestly, I just couldn't feel like buying more, so I just tried not to use it that much. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't really know how to dodge this attack other than just run away and get lucky. So she didn't do it too much, but I'm just glad she didn't do it that much because I'm really shitty at dodging it. So like I said, she does waterfowl a lot, and especially in my fight, she did it quite a bit, so I managed to dodge that almost flawlessly. Anyway, she tries to screw me over with it, tries to kick me, but I'm good because I managed to dodge. And now it's just about whittling down that last bit of health she's got. But she obviously wants to fight time with Scarlet Aeronia, so I spend this time to buff with determination, and I run in there to get some extra damage in before she gets up. One thing that's very important is stamina management. If I go to attack her and I don't have enough stamina to get out of there, it just means certain death. So sometimes, although I have attack opportunities, I don't take them just because it might kill me just because of no stamina. So that's kind of why I'm being very cautious. Not to mention this is one of the best attempts, and obviously was the best attempt. So she goes for her 4th waterfowl, 2 in each phase, which is why I said she did waterfowl a lot. I feel as if this was a test, just to see if I was worthy of beating her, after so many losses, which I guess I was, because I won. But it was a struggle, and luckily I got pretty good at dodging waterfowl. And even like stuff like that, I learnt you can just strafe that attack, or the first bit of it. So I did that just to save me some stamina so I can hit her more. And now I just gotta whittle down the last little bit of health. And there goes, the hardest boss in this game, getting whipped to death by a dude with a squid head and the widest torso I've ever seen. So I just submerged myself in the water and just realized what I've done. But because I didn't feel like Malenia was enough, I immediately went into mohg, which surprisingly took less than 1 hour of attempts. And you'll see why I won this attempt, because remember that thing I used against Loretta doing a bunch of damage? This is where that comes in helpful, because I accidentally figured out how to do it on him. If you jump attack him from his side, you can deal double or almost triple damage with your whips, and it is just absurd. And you'll see what I mean, he practically doesn't have a second phase. That's what I learned how to do, and it was pretty effective, you'll see what I mean. Honestly, it kind of trivialized this fight, which I'm glad, because I find his first phase very fun, but his second phase very annoying. And as you can see, I accidentally just did it there, and that was what, like 2 grand damage? Pretty good. And again, I did it there. And something I want to mention is if I had bleed on these whips, that'd be dealing double the bleed build-up. So just consider that. Consider how much bleed build-up that is. Because that's like 4 or 8 hits or whatever, all in like a very short span. And that's how I'm dealing so much damage. But if I had bleed, I'd be dealing even more. So if you want a really good bleed build against mohg, I guess that works. Dual whips can kind of get you there if you've got good bleed build up on them. Also, I managed to stagger the dude, which I didn't even know how I did that. And then I proceeded to almost die immediately after, which would have been tragic. But I heal up, I make sure I'm ready, and then I finally go in to get the last hit. And that's Mohg, Malenia, and Loretta all down in one video, which I would say is pretty impressive for my standards, considering I'm pretty shitty at this game. Anyway, this is the end of the entire White Man series. I do have other series coming in mind, like I've already started a Comment As Your Only run, and I've got another challenge that's lined up with a friend, but we haven't really done much of that, and that's still in the works, so I don't even really know what's going to happen with that. So do expect more challenges, but this is the end of this one. There won't be another episode. I tried to fight Placidusax, but I don't think I could fit his entire fight into a 4-minute clip, so I just gave up. So he's not a hard fight, but I just don't plan to do it. Anyway, thank you for sticking around, and especially thank you for sticking around all the way to the end. Most people just ignore it. Anyway, see ya.